Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Magic Bricks Hangout series. Our endeavor is to trigger a buy and bring back consumer confidence in the real estate market. The topic of today's discussion is parameters to evaluate before buying a residential property. To discuss on the same, we have Mr. K. Srinivas Rao, Vice President, Sales and Marketing. Mr. Rao graduated in Osmania University, PGDM from Bhavan's College of Communication and Management and has done Executive General Management Program from IIM Bangalore. He has an overall experience of over 24 years in diverse fields such as media, financial services and real estate. For over 5 years, he has associated with Lanco Hills Tech Park as GM Sales and Marketing and has been working with Rajapushpa Properties as Vice President in Sales and Marketing since December 2015. Along with Mr. Rao, I also welcome Neha Nagpal. She's a senior journalist working with Magic Bricks with major work experience in the real estate sector. In the past, she has written about franchisee and outdoor media and has an overall experience of over 10 years. Without any further delay, I hand over the session to Neha.
Thank you, Pushpa. Thanks. I first of all welcome Mr. Rao on the board today to share his opinion with our consumers. Mr. Rao, I welcome you, and the session is about that how to evaluate what are the parameters to actually select a property first. Consumer when actually think of buying a property, he consider a lot of parameters. According to you, what all those will be? We will be discussing that in the session today. Your opening remarks on the same. If you have to tell us about 5 parameters which are really important for consumer to evaluate before finalizing a property or making a big investment of his life.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Neha, and I thank you, Magic Bricks for this initiative as such. Hope I'm audible to everyone. Primarily, these 5 parameters are first of all the clear title of the property, whether approvals are in place, are they intact. That is one of the foremost thing before you enhance, embark on the buying decision. And the second thing is that the credibility of the developer. That's the very important, and the how important that is their cash flows, how credible they are, and those second thing. And third, another important thing is that the location and the approach of the property, how good it is, so that when you're able to buy, you also should be able to sell it, very conveniently. That is what another important thing. These are the top 3 priorities one has to enhance. And the other 2 important thing is that I do not advise anybody to go beyond their limits, financial limits, and stretch beyond your comfort zone and get into a situation where you are caught between the devil and the deep sea. So plan your financials well and understand your EMI and understand the imperative of the interest and EMI and the term. And then your fixed expenditure month on month. Based on that, you arrive at a decision that would help you. That would help you greatly. So without any hassles, you own your dream home, and also you sustain there. And one more important parameter that is that when you're buying home, you are also inviting a lot of taxes as part of it, and you have to budget your interior cost. And you need to do your stamp duties and etc. Then certainly this is going to put you into a better lifestyle, platform. So that all those elements also you need to take into consideration when you are taking into, buying your dream home. So these are the primary, things that you need to take into consideration.
Certainly, these are quite valuable points for the consumers. So I will take up the first query. There are live queries coming in, Mr. Rao. There's Deepak Negi from Ghaziabad. He says, how do we check whether a particular housing project is approved for a bank loan? How to check the eligibility for the bank loans, basically?
Okay. Good question, Mr. Deepak. And first of all, thanks for the participation in this. And primarily, most of the projects that are from a very credible builders, they would have already a prior approval that is extended to those projects. That means these developers already would have applied their entire project details to the respective bankers, and they also must have done the legal due diligence, and the entire legal diligence has been submitted to the respective bankers. And the bankers also must have vetted these things from their legal cell, and they will go on the physical verification and all the legal technical verifications, and they will also seek all the written approval documents from the respective authorities, whether they have given the sanctions to start the construction and all. Based on that, and also before that, they will go for the link document verification and all. Based on that, they would extend something called APL, that is advanced project approval. Once this is done, then you need not do again a separate verification. So this is the best method to do it, and especially when you are buying from a branded developers like Rajapushpa in Hyderabad, or in the reputed builders in Ghaziabad, or in the NCR region, or in Mumbai, wherever you are. So not more than one bank would have extended in their own interest, business interest, and also in the interest of the consumers. They will do this. So it is a huge convenience in terms of the retail home loan processing for them. And for the consumers like you and me, this becomes very helpful to make your decision further.
Right. The next query I would like to take it up is of Tapas Das. He's from Bangalore. Okay. He's asking which house to buy, under construction or ready to move in apartment is a wise investment.
Yeah, that's been a nice question, Mr. Tapas. Always this is a very confusing area for a new, especially the first home buyer. Where should you go? Should you really go by looking at an advertisement and just go there and because the developer, the first thing he does is that once he's clear with the project, he would go ahead and announce the project to the market, and he invite the customers to patronize the project. And because in his own interest, he would like to sell as fast as possible, and he would like to have his cash flows moving forward as fast as possible. But as a consumer, what you need to do it is that first is, as I said, the verification of the credentials of the developer. That's one. And second thing is that first your own criteria. What is that your situation today? Suppose if you are buying a project at 80% completion level, right? You will have to shut down within 45 days or 2 months. You will have to shut down 80% of the cost of the unit, right? So if you're buying a property worth 1 crore, then you should be able to pay the margin money, which is normally 20 to 25%. Then you would be able to get the home loan sanction. Then the banker should be able to disburse the money once the sanction is done, and he will disburse subject to the technical verification of the project on the physical real-time basis. Then within 45 days or 2 months' time, you would be shelling out 80%. That is, if you are buying a property worth 1 crore, you will be settling out 20 lakhs of your own money, and another 60 lakhs of the home loan money you will be disbursing. From the day when your EMI or the pre-EMI would begin. So you need to factor these things. So if you're buying a property at 80% stage, probably you must be getting the handover within 10 to 12 months thereafter. So you need to factor your EMI without occupying the home for another 1 year. Until such time, if you're already staying in a rented apartment, you need to be able to factor your financial flow in terms of rent plus your EMI. Then you need to take a decision. But one caution I wanted to do at this point in time, the risk probability will be at a higher level when you are buying a project before its initiation stage. That means before its excavation, or during its excavation, or during initial term of the project. Yeah. And one more thing is that general terminology is that if a builder is doing around 20 floor in tower, right, a high-rise gated community with 20 floors or so, if he is announcing 3.5 years of time, which is a reasonably a level to wait for. If all goes well in ideal market situations, in ideal financial situations, considering that intent of the builder is very good and his credibility is very good, from the start date, he will take at least about 30 months and plus another 6 months. He will be able to deliver it, provided all these things are falling in line. So you need to verify what is your own financial flows, then your own requirement, and the builder credibility. These three factors you need to decide whether to go a project in the initial stage or in the mid term or in the later term. The only thing is that in the initial stages you would have advantage of the choice of the units, choice of the views, choice of the floor plan you will have. We can choose from various options available with, And the rate comfort also will be there. The developer or the builder will be in a position to negotiate with you. You will have a little more weightage on the negotiation capacity. Then you can really choose the best one and also the nicest price. That is the advantage for you. At a later stage, you will miss these two options because the building waiting time is less, your interest burden is less. Then you might your options might be narrowed down to that extent,
Right.
and you will be paying at a higher cost. Between these two, you need to judge it.
Very right, Mr. Rao. The next query is from Nikhil.
I think there is some audio problem. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I think we've lost connection with Neha. Neha, can you hear us?
I think Neha's connection
There's
is.
some technical error. So meanwhile, I'll read on the query for you.
Yeah.
So there's one query. She's Resham from Visakhapatnam, and she's asking, can you tell me any new infrastructure development plans Telangana government is planning for Hyderabad development?
All right. Resham, that's a very interesting question. That too, very nice to have a question from Visakhapatnam, which is part of dual Telugu states.
Yeah.
Yeah, Telangana government is doing a lot of initiatives, but at this point of time, these initiatives are especially considering the people BPL below the poverty line and lower income groups. The government is very actively taking up those initiatives at a lower level. That is as a social contribution part. Government is considering that is double bedroom apartments for the lower income groups. Government is encouraging very highly, very aggressively. They're going ahead. Having said that, for the people for a mid segment and above, the government is absolutely on track as far as the infrastructure things are concerned, the roads and the development within Hyderabad and other Telangana part. They are rapidly that is being enhanced, and now Hyderabad is one of the a hotbed for the new age development and the latest infrastructure as compared to any other city. Now Hyderabad is scoring much better in terms of those elements like the outer ring road and international airport and the financial district and IT hub. And Hyderabad now is also roaring in terms of good rental income. And now, thanks to the RBI rate cut and all, this is the very, very ideal situation to own a home. And in places like Hyderabad, and that you need to choose it from. And I'm waiting to some of more initiatives from government authorities like HMDA or the Housing Board. They might come through some announcements. I think you need to keep on watch for that.
Okay. Yeah. There's another query from Swati Singh, and it's Hyderabad based. She's asking how to know the rates of residential properties in a particular location and why they often vary from project to project.
Okay, this is a very, very thanks, Swati, for that question. This is a very complex, situation, and the price is an imperative of the location and the land value there, and other commercial establishments and other government establishments around. And it's already developed locality, then the price will be the higher. And if it is underdeveloped locality, naturally the price will be little lower. If it is little periphery on the city suburb kind of situation, the price will be further lower. And the growth chance will be much better where you need to be in the catchment areas of the IT hubs or the educational hubs. That is where you will be able to get a faster growth and you will have assured returns. And if you want to occupy, the primary consideration for sure should be the how quickly you can reach out to the office, how quickly your kids can go to their reach out to their good schools around. These are the two important parameters, and also good health medical facility around. These are the very important parameters before you go on to the decision. And the price is generally, thanks to the initiatives from Magic Bricks or the Times of India, when you go to their property pages, so there is very clearly which is very realistic. And today you have a lot of portals who are doing very, very value-added services in terms of assessing a particular property, assessing a valuation of a particular location, whether it is an independent home or a villa or an apartment. If you just put a location and your budget category, they will throw out some of the options for you. So which are the builders, which are the developments that are there, which might be suitable to your budget. I think that's one of the best first trigger point for you to move on with property decision.
Okay. We have next query, and it's related to loan. She's Rekha Arora from Chandigarh, and she's asking, shall I first apply for a loan and then book an apartment, or apply for it after the booking?
Yeah, Rekha, that's a very, very crucial and important question. I think I would vote for the first option of your question. That is, before you do any of these big decisions, you better get evaluated your entire, financials and get your sanction ready. Decide your banker whether whoever is HDFC, ICICI, or SBI, or any other public sector or private sector bank, and get your entire loan evaluation done. Keep these sanctions ready. Get the maximum sanction. What are the maximum sanction disbursable amount? Then keep that as option and your own savings in order to pay your margin money. Then you move with that option into the market and add up your preferences. What is your locational preference? What is your office, in terms of lifestyle quotient, would you consider a budget housing or a luxury house? On that basis, is it for the investment purpose or is it for your end use purpose? Based on this, you can fine tune your requirement. But the first point of the first step of the property buying would be, get your sanction ready, then move into it the other two and second and third steps. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So next query is from Nikita Verma, and she's asking, as a first-time home buyer, what are the things I need to know while buying an under construction property? Is there any difference in terms of buying an under construction and ready to move in apartment?
All right. As I think part of this question has been already, answered, Nikita. It is under construction and ready to move in. The difference is that you're waiting time. When you're ready to move home, then probably within 2 to 3 months of your entire clearance of the monies, you will be able to move into the particular home. Whereas in the under construction, and you need to consider 2, 3 important parameters. That is, at what level the construction is. One important parameter for you need to verify is that don't ever assume that when the complete structural thing has been already done, you never assume that, or please do not assume that the building is already ready. The fastest, way is the most shortest period. The builder will be able to construct the entire structure. That's one of the fastest thing. After structure, they will have to do the brickwork. Then they will do the plastering. Then the fit-outs will be started. All right. So never ever assume that once if it is 14 floor in tower, once the structure is ready, and don't ever assume that the building is ready.
Now I think Neha has joined in again.
Yeah, that's good.
Neha, can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
He's
sorry to
addressing
have
a
lost
query
it forever.
from Verma. As a first-time buyer, what are the things I need to know while buying an under construction property? So he's addressing the query.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, sir, please continue.
Yeah, Nikita, what we need to do is, so when the structure is ready, from that stage, when the brickwork is already done, from that stage to get the property ready for the handover, it will take at least about 18 months to 2 years. Okay, the assumption has to be that. And so naturally, when you are buying a property in the middle of the construction stage, you need to verify whether the building is already on with fit outs. That means fit out means the plumbing works have been initiated, electrical conduiting is initiated, internal painting, external painting, and the flooring has been initiated. Then that is one of the very, very dependable stage of the property where you can confidently move on with your decision. For example, if I have to give a very right example, Rajapushpa entry at this point of time, the primary thing announcement that we do is that we are ahead of 6 months schedule. When somebody visit a project, they will be able to see very clearly the tower exteriors are getting ready, internals are getting ready, and CP bathroom fittings are getting ready, flooring is getting ready. That means in no way the project is going to delay another 8 months or 10 months. It's in guaranteed way. There is no assumption there. So that kind of evaluation you need to do it before you cut your check and you make a decision. Yeah.
Right. Right. I think I was just asking the query from Nikhil Singh. He's
Yeah.
from Delhi. He says he actually asked an interesting query. He says,
Yeah.
if I book a residential apartment and later I get to know that I'm not eligible for the bank loan,
Okay.
then can I get the booking amount back from the builder without any deduction?
Yeah, oh, that's a very tricky area that you are landing into, Nikhil Singh. First is I don't want you to make any payment without getting the clarity on the bank loan part. That's the first thing. I think one of the audience has already asked, should I get my bank loan sanctioned first? So that is a very, very safe step. Having said that, no issues. Today, by virtue of your gross emoluments and package and all, you will be able to understand what kind of loan that you will be able to get it. They will be able to tell, or any online website, portal and all, they will use it in assessment. That is tentative assessment. That is the step one. Step two is that before, suppose if you had to buy before the loan sanction happens, better you take an assurance from the developer that okay, your terms and conditions say so. If I'm paying 5 lakhs of advance, booking amount, in case of any kind of bank loan disturbance or any assessment gap that happens, you should be give me that free exit option without any penalty. Take that commitment and then enter into it. Then there are no hazards. Without putting any of these things, you blindly go and make the booking amount and you book, fill up your booking form and submit everything. Then after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you realize that you read 80 lakhs and the bank is willing to give you only 50 lakhs. Then you are, caught between, very, 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 tricky situation where neither you will be able to move forward nor you will be able to come back, and builder will be able to take his own advantage. Then all your controls are with him. So you will have to follow this thing. If the builder is very, very, honest and very, a little human side, then they might give you a free exit option. Otherwise, you are stuck. Your 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs amount is in a, very risky situation. So first, loan sanction first, then evaluate, or you take a pre-commitment from the developer or the builder that in case any loan goes wrong, you should be allowed to exit without any penalty.
Right. Mr. Rao, basically I'm getting a lot of queries in terms of, what are the options one should, evaluate before considering, a property. We have discussed that while initiating the session.
Yeah.
However, there is a query which has come to me, which is he's asking that if I have to zero it down to a particular location, what all I should consider? Not the property, but to a location, because for him the location he's a little confused about. So, so what do you suggest our user on that?
Very, very, very important. First of all, the kind of roads that are around your project, right? Are we okay? Your audio on video?
Yeah. Mr. Rao, please continue.
Yeah. Okay. See, the kind of size of the road. Is it 80 feet road, 100 feet road, or 60 feet road, or 20 feet or 30 feet? That you need to understand where you are buying a property. Especially when you're buying a property in gated community, you need to verify your approach roads. Are they very wide, suitable for a higher traffic density? Whether they will be able to cater from the immediate term to the next 5, 10, 15 year situation. Because always you need to remember one thing is that property buying is not a repetitive decision in a life cycle. At the most, we might buy once, and if you're really doing great, you will get an opportunity for the second time. And if you're super duper, successful in the career, and you might go and upgrade to a third time. That's the very, very rare opportunity. So you need to evaluate very carefully the location and in and around the location, whether how the commercial development around, what kind of education facilities are around, what kind of health and medical facilities are around. This is very important thing. And any other development that's coming in future, is it going to help us, or is it going to devalue the property value or the living values there? That you need to verify. Because suppose you buy in some particular location, and immediately within 2 kilometers that if you have a pharma manufacturing company, then every morning in the midnight you will have hazards with pollution. They emit poisonous gases they might emit, and you might have effluents around. Then that would disturb your that might cause some allergies and everything, and indirectly that would devalue the project value. Then you might not get the valuation correct. Then people might not come and buy in that kind of properties. Then the property might stuck in between. So a lot of risk, mitigation you need to do it before getting it. So location means approach roads first, then the title clarity on the property next, then other commercial establishments around, and then you embark on the decision. That's going to help you. And some of the future developments also you keep a track of it. How long it is from the manufacturing hub, so that the pollution levels are under control, and check on the greenery level around. So that's going to impact you very high. Okay, today's need of the hour is we should have a sustained water, management, effective water management, and greenery around. The two important aspects.
Right. A user also asks, he's called Satpati. He says that does Rajapushpa Atria had got all the approvals and permission from the respective authorities?
Oh, 100%. Mr. Satpati, Rajapushpa Atria is a very credible institution. And the project is being funded by SBI headed consortium, which is SBI is the leader of consortium. And the project is 100% with complete clear titles and 100% approvals are in place. And without approvals, we don't even start the construction. And the construction is already initiated a couple of years back, and it's going at a very good speed. And normally, when the market situation is very disturbing, very roller coaster kind of situation, especially Hyderabad-like situation, where 2012, 13 was, and last 12, 13, and 14 was very disturbing years. Now the things are very well settled down, and this project has been initiated during 2014. And despite all the hiccups, we are the one of the only project where we are ahead by the announced prescribed timeline, and we are ahead by 6 months. And we have decided this entire year on behalf of the customers is the year of customer delight for us. So we are going to define handover experience of the dream home of our customers in a very nice good manner. So by March 2017, that is what our commitment date, with a grace period of 6 months. That means we have March plus 6 months, but we are 200% confident that we'll be handing over the project by March, along with the entire package of the services, amenities, and clubhouse together. And 100% approvals are in place.
Right. A user is also asking, called Srilatha from Sikandrabad. She's asking what kind of ROI can be expected in Rajapushpa projects at the time of the possession, that is 2 years from now.
Okay. Firstly, our project is divided into two phases. Phase 1 is getting ready for handover by March 2017, and phase 2 will be handed over another year from that, that is March 2018. Okay, and this is a very happening location. Rajapushpa area is situated in the Kokapet, which is, you have to have a very careful observation of this location. I'm sure if any of the audience are from Hyderabad, what I'm saying, they would be able to relate it. The biggest IT hub of Hyderabad is financial district, which is 2 kilometers away from the area, Rajapushpa area, right? And we are separated. The financial district on one side of the ORR, and Kokapet is on the other side of the ORR, outer ring road. Right, these two are independent of each other and connected by 2 to 4 kilometer distance maximum. 4 kilometers is the center of the financial district. 1.5 to 2 kilometers is the epicenter of the financial district in Kokapet. And here the important point I wanted to make is that financial district is a concentrated hub of the commercial development, that is IT parks, multinational corporations and all, Microsoft, ISB. You have Apple, their own campus is coming up there. Google is setting up their own campus there, and Amazon is already operating out of there, and they're moving to their own campus. So from there, we are away by 2 kilometers, and the entire Kokapet, where Rajapushpa area is situated, there are also other gated communities. This entire, Kokapet is a concentrated hub of the gated communities. So that's one of the rare combinations. This is 80% of these projects in this location is branded developments, very organized new age developments. That means you have approach roads of 80 feet road, 60 feet road, 120 feet road, and a very good, planned development. Then you are surrounded by, projects from minimum apartment size from 60 lakh onwards, it goes to 2 crores, and minimum villa cost from 2.5 crores to goes to 10, 12 crores. That is the value of this location. So the ROI, which is the important question that you put it in, this is the best time to venture into this kind of locations, and especially when you depend on the people, projects like Rajapushpa and all, your timelines are under control, your quality is assured, and you are getting a very high luxury quotient product into your hand. Then these elements will contribute together for the value, building in future. So, especially the projects like Rajapushpa, which is we are selling at 4,350 is the rack price, and there is come little bit under based on financials, we are open for a little bit of negotiation. Then when you end up, and another 1 year when the projects get ready for the handover, the valuation goes a huge, this thing. Because the real estate, one tricky thing is, I'm taking a little more time in answering this question, which is very important, also very suitable for various other people also. When you buy a particular property, especially real estate, unless 100% project is ready, you will not be able to assume or imagine the complete shape of the project. Even 99% also will not give you a meaningful idea. That is the nature of the real estate product. So when you move towards handover stage, when the buildings get decorated with paintings and glass works and landscape and all, suddenly you see a jump in the value of the project. Where you are buying at 4,300, in another 8 months or 10 months, suddenly you will have supply narrowed, demand is more, the project looks very assuring, very beautiful, very attractive. That's where your values will go up. So that's the best time. So in a year time, I'm anticipating at least about uh, uh, 5,500. That means about 25 to 30% rise I'm expecting, right? And one has to be
You are
very
selling it at, sir, sorry, I'm interrupting. Currently, you are selling it at what price?
4,350 is the rack price, and which is little open scope for negotiation. So the assumed price that would be going around is that 5,200 to 5,800. That is what. And this is a very premium location of Hyderabad. Like Jubilee Hills, this is Kokapet is going to become one of the very well noted address of Hyderabad. And because of its proximity to the international IT hub, and also the international airport, and proximity to ORR and zero polluted zone around, and the international schools are in the immediate neighborhood, and that is what exactly today people are looking forward to.
Right, right. Sir, as you have talked about the negotiation part as well, do you think that this is the right time to invest? And as you said, yes, it is the right time. So if at all consumer want to negotiate, how much he can negotiate in Hyderabad real estate market currently?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity today for Hyderabad because there are no ifs and buts now. The assumptions are completely, what is it, eroded now. You are into a very factual market situation today. The government is in a very stable level, and the government team is in a very decisive level today. The government industrial policies are very pro-industry, very positive, and people are able to attract, international, brands like Apple and Aerobus setting up their projects in Hyderabad. And the Hyderabad culture, Hyderabad weather, Hyderabad food is very, is becoming turning very cosmo. And having infra in, I think in the my personal rating, like Hyderabad in comparison to Pune or Bangalore or Chennai, Hyderabad is top rated in terms of infrastructure development, which is already in place. So this is the best time to invest. This if somebody wanting to own a home, this is the best time wherever they are. Especially the Western Hyderabad is the most happening location in and around Gachibowli and in and around financial district. And today the water management is very effective because the government is proactively looking into that. And I think that is completely going to be because Krishna River water has been connected to city, Godavari River water has been connected to city, and actually to other three lakes are around. I think this is the best time to own a property in Hyderabad, even as an end-use purpose or as an investment.
Right. Right, sir. Sir, we spoke about what to look when we actually talk about zeroed it on for the location to select a location for your property. But what do you think as far as when is the return of investment is concerned? What is most important? Is it the location or the amenities developer is offering? What according to you is really important? If you can just prioritize 5 points in a prioritized manner.
Yeah, that's a very important question, and not one reason a property will be appreciated. Property will be the ROI will be based on at least 3 to 5 parameters.
Right.
First is the location. Second thing is that the product mix. What kind of the design element and the amenities that have been added into the thing. That is the second thing. Then the other thing is that the neighborhood, the kind of people those who occupied there, that is also going to impact your property values. And the in and around happenings, like how you are distant from the good educational institutions, good medical and health institutions, and good shopping experience and entertainment away from you. Based on these parameters, your properties are going to be
Right.
valued. Yeah.
Right. There's a query from Mayank Dasgupta. He's from Kolkata. He's saying, can you please tell me whether I should move into a house that has yet to get an OC? My builder assures me that it is safe too. What is your
Okay.
suggestion on it?
Mayank, that's a very interesting question, Mayank. In fact, today the most of the authorities are more or less in a very dependable situation. If they issue OC mails, they must have done all the verifications. They must have done the fire drill and fire safety checks and everything they must have done. Then they issue the OC. So always it's safe to move into an apartment or a home where after the occupancy certificate is issued. Right, that's one. Second thing is that if somebody is assuring, yeah, it is a good intent of the builder or he is a wishful thinking. But there is one, little amount of risk is involved, where, before occupancy, if you are getting in, if anything, because that means the works are still under progress, the risk, probability is very high. And
Right.
maybe because when you're moving in home, you're moving with your family, then there are kids around, there are workers going on, then there is safety, security, and a lot of material movement, machinery movement. If it's happening, then really you are inviting a lot of risk there. That you need to verify the property. The best way is that, let's not compromise on this. After OC, you should move in. That's the right way to do it.
Okay, okay. There's a query from an NRI saying, as an NRI returning from 5 years, what are the things to be taken care of while buying a property? You have explained it that what one should take care of it, but for an NRI, do you think there is any differentiator?
See, NRI, the first thing is that, the best thing if you are able to travel to India and see for yourself and take a buying decision, that's very, very, dependable choice. If you are not in a position to do that, send your own, trusted friend or a family member and let them go and physically verify what is the stage of the project, what are the locational advantages, whatever the briefing that you got on the website or through an executive of the or representative of the project, and that is coinciding with the real-time verification, then you can embark on the decision. And also you could go today, thanks to the online and thanks to the portals like Rajapushpa and all, you have a lot of reviews that you can see it for yourself. And or you can also ask the builder, take a couple of references from them who are already occupied or who are already taken, purchased with them. Then have a chat with them, have a telephonic conversation with them, take their neutral opinion. Then you can go ahead and do it. Most of the branded developments today are in a very, very, a dependable situation.
Right, right. A query is from a user saying, is Narsingi a good location for investing in Hyderabad?
Very true. Narsingh is the most happening location, and very strategically, Narsingh is situated from the financial district within 3.5 to 4 kilometers. And financial district is the most happening part of Hyderabad. A lot of expansion is happening. A lot of high value properties are coming in and around the financial district, and Narsingh happens just adjoining locality. And the huge advantage of Narsingh Kokapet is there is no pollution. There's a lot of greenery around, and the catchment. These are the just in between the drinking water lakes of Hyderabad and the main city. And you are nearer to the international airport. You are almost very approachable to the outer ring road. And all the international schools, all the global educational facilities are within the Narsingh, where the kid doesn't have to waste a lot of time on traveling to school. They're not exposed to the high traffic and they're not exposed to the high pollution. These are the value adds. When you save time, that could flow back into your own development, self-development, and also the family and kids development. So Narsingh is undoubtedly a very happening location, and without any hesitation, you can look up to Narsingh.
There's a query from Kush. He's from Guntur. He's asking that I would like to buy a villa. Are villas available in Gachibowli as well?
Yeah, there are villas available. All that you need to verify is that what kind of budget that you are driving with. That's very important criteria because Gachibowli villas are pretty expensive, and the minimum cost might be around 2.5 to 3 crores and above. And if you have to have villa and maybe your budget is lower side, then maybe I would advise you to survey it out and check out little deeper routes. Maybe you will have to travel another 8, 9, 10 kilometers. Then you might find the villas around 1.5 crore or so.
Right. So we are running out of the time. I would like to take your concluding remarks with this question that please suggest the best places for investment in Hyderabad. If you have to tell the consumer that these are the 5 locations that you can invest now in Hyderabad and get a good return on investment in 3 years down the line, which all those locations would be?
Right. Well, that's a good question. You have Gachibowli, anything being epicenter Gachibowli, you check out 5 to 7 kilometers. That's one of the greatest opportunity you have in general. In specific, Kokapet, Narsingh, and Manikonda, Nanakramguda. And if you have to go a little more villa, very spacious, this thing and all, you will have to go towards Tellapur. And Kotaguda, Kondapur is a little more crowded, little more high traffic areas. And I'm sure if you are okay with that, you could venture out there as well. But certainly on the lifestyle quotient and on the luxury quotient, on the ROI element, Narsingi, Kokapet, and Telapur. These are very, very promising locations at this point of time.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this platform today. It was a great session, I believe. I thank all the participation and their queries as well. It was a great session. Over to you, Pushpa.
Thanks, Neha. Thanks, Neha and
I'm very
MBK.
thankful to our guest speaker, Mr. Rao, for participating in this session. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all the participants for their support in making this Hangout a great success. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Rao.
Thank you so much, Neha and team and the Magic Bricks team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.